Good afternoon. You're watching Nation Now. I'm Priyadarshini Medhi, and we start the bulletin with a big national story. In a shocking development today morning, a number of people protested at the entrance of the Golden Temple in Amritsar with posters of terrorist Janel Singh Bhindranwale. Moreover, pro-Khalistan slogans were purportedly chanted by the protesters, marking the 38th anniversary of Operation Blue Star. Well, on this day in 1984, the Indian Army stormed the Golden Temple complex as part of its Operation Blue Star. The operation was undertaken to flush out Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale and other armed militants who had been hiding inside the temple premises. While Bhindranwale and his aides were killed in the military operation, many civilians also lost their lives. Bhindranwale was at the forefront of the Khalistan movement that gained traction in the 1980s. As per the movement, the extremist leader wanted the Indian government to pass the Anandpur resolution and make a separate state of Khalistan for Sikhs. The militants took control of the temple while being armed with sophisticated weapons, including machine guns and RPGs, rocket propelled grenade launchers. Well, this prompted the Indian government to launch Operation Blue Star and regain control of the Golden Temple. Meanwhile, Akal Takht chief Jani Harpreet Singh has stirred up a controversy by calling for weapons training for all Sikhs. Well, the Jathedar of the Takht said Sikhs would start weapons training academies and where people could learn to use state-of-the-art weapons. Well, Akal Takht is one of the 5 seats of authority for Sikhs, and it is in the Darbar Sahib in Punjab's Amritsar.
अब जो ये ट्रेंड है, ये बड़ा डेंजरस ट्रेंड है। आप इंस्टिगेट कर रहे हैं एक कम्युनिटी के सेंटिमेंट्स को। भगवंत मान जी का बस नहीं चल रहा। अरविंद केजरीवाल, जो मैं बार-बार कहता रहा हूँ पिछले 4 महीनों से लगातार, अरविंद केजरीवाल ऐसा माहौल बनाएँगे, फिर वहाँ पे बेकसूर लोगों को मरवाएँगे, सिखों को कुचला जाएगा दोबारा से और फिर ये संदेश देंगे कि देखिए, मैंने आतंकवाद का खात्मा किया, मुझे सपोर्ट करो। एक तरफ अरविंद केजरीवाल जी कहते हैं कि मुझे जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को सिक्योरिटी दी जाए।
जी।
और एट द सेम टाइम आपकी स्टेट की गवर्नमेंट जो है ये सब कुछ एक स्टेट के अंदर इंस्टिगेट कर रही है, एक सेंटिमेंट्स को उभार रही है और आप उस सब चीज़ों को खुद करवा रहे हैं ताकि वो एक बड़ा नैरेटिव बन जाए पंजाब में और फिर आप उस नैरेटिव को कुचलने वाले हीरो के रूप में पहचाने जाएँ। यही कांग्रेस ने 1980 के दशक में किया था और उसका उनकी सरकार की सीटें तो 450 आ गई, लेकिन उसका खमियाजा पूरे देश को भुगतना पड़ा। हमारी कम्युनिटी के हज़ारों बेगुनाह सिख मारे गए। पंजाब जो कंट्रोल्ड था, जो एक पीसफुल स्टेट था, आपने आज उसका क्या हाल करके रख दिया। तो अब ये अरविंद केजरीवाल बताएं कि क्या किससे क्या नहीं संभल रहा। आपसे पंजाब नहीं संभल रहा या बीजेपी की जिसने कश्मीर को जीरो क्राइम पर लाके सारे टेररिस्ट का खात्मा करना कि एक ऐसा वक्त था। मैं तो अभी इन दिनों में जाता रहा हूँ बहुत बार, अभी भी पिछले महीने भी वहीं गया था। तो आज श्रीनगर भरा रहता है टूरिस्ट। एक ऐसा वक्त था कि उस वहां पे कोई उतर ही नहीं सकता था। तो मुझे लगता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल एक देश के प्रति भोले बनकर बहुत खतरनाक एक गेम खेलते हैं। वो एट अ टाइम सभी लोगों को साथ लेने की कोशिश करते हैं, सेपरेटिस्ट को भी साथ लेते हैं, आतंकियों को भी साथ लेते हैं, उनको भी जस्टिफाई करते हैं इनडायरेक्ट तरीके से और विक्टिम्स को भी जस्टिफाई करते हैं इनडायरेक्ट तरीके से। ये गेम देखने में तो बड़ी भोला लगते हैं, लेकिन इसके अंजाम बहुत खतरनाक होते हैं देश के।
And moving on now, the Maharashtra government has beefed up Bollywood star Salman Khan's security after death threats were issued to the actor and his father, Salim Khan. Maharashtra police personnel were seen at the residence of Salman Khan to thwart any possible attack following the death threat. It may be mentioned that Bollywood superstar Salman Khan and his father, film producer, screenwriter Salim Khan, received a threat letter on Sunday. As per information, Salim Khan follows a morning routine where he goes for a walk on the promenade accompanied by his security personnel. Well, there's a particular location where he typically takes a break, and it is there where a chit had been left behind on a bench. Well, the chit threatened Salman and his father Salim to meet a similar fate as Sidhu Moosewala, who was shot dead last week. Punjabi singer politician Sidhu Moosewala was shot dead in Punjab's Mansa village last week, allegedly by members of the Lawrence Bishnoi gang. What has drawn eyes in this death threat to Salman Khan is that the same Lawrence Bishnoi gang had threatened the actor in 2018 when the black buck poaching case was in court. Meanwhile, Mumbai police has arrived at Salman Khan's residence and security has been beefed up post the superstar's house. And meanwhile, an FIR into the matter has already been registered at the Bandra police station under Section 5062 relating to criminal intimidation of the IPC, and the investigation has already been initiated.
हमारे इन्वेस्टिगेशन की कुछ अपने तरीके होते हैं। हम मैं आपसे बात करूंगा। मुझे बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन तो लेने दीजिए खुद को, मुझे फिर मैं बात करता हूँ। सीसीटीवी वगैरह कलेक्ट किए गए हमारे इन्वेस्टिगेशन की कुछ अपने तरीके होते हैं। हम मैं आपसे बात करूंगा। मुझे बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन तो लेने दीजिए खुद को, मुझे फिर मैं बात करता हूँ। सीसीटीवी वगैरह कलेक्ट किए गए
And on to Manipur now. Well, teachers and students of the Little Flower School in Imphal staged protests condemning the IED blast at the entrance of school yesterday. Our correspondent Sharad Chandra spoke to the agitating teachers and students who demanded that violence must end and educational institutes must not be targeted. It may be mentioned that on Sunday early morning, a bomb suspected to be an IED went off at school gate. However, no casualty was reported in the incident. Chief Minister Rendra Singh had condemned the incident and said stern action will be taken against the perpetrators. So, big story we are tracking from Manipur viewers. Well, you can see on your screens that teachers and the students of Little Flower School in Imphal staged a protest condemning the IED blast at the entrance of school yesterday. Our correspondent Sharad Chandra spoke to the agitating teachers and students who demanded that violence must end and educational institutes must not be targeted. It may be mentioned here that on Sunday early morning, a bomb suspected to be an IED went off at school gate. However, no casualty was reported in the incident. Chief Minister Rendra Singh has condemned the incident and said that stern action will be taken against the perpetrators.
Today, we are here, the students and the staff, in protest against the bomb blast at our school gate. We want peace, we want justice, we want to ensure security, healthy education to our children. And so we request every one of you, people of goodwill, who wish the good of your children, to join us to work for peace, to work for justice, and to work together to make our Manipur a beautiful home where every child can find a place that is peaceful for learning, peaceful for living, and to be in communion with everyone.
Is there any threat or monetary demand from any proscribed group?
Actually, we have got many issues, but then we are working on it. We are in process trying to go for a peaceful solution. Perhaps the main thing may be that we are not able to please everyone who come for admission. That is the most outstanding news for issue for our school today. We have displeased many people. Many are happy, yes, but then many are not happy. And perhaps that may be the bigger issue that we have to work out.
I would like to say that education. What is education? Education is enriching to our children. So first of all, like Education must be free from all kind of crime because we the students are the future of the nation. And I, on behalf of all the students of Little Flower School in Fall, would like to say that we don't deserve such kind of atrocity. And I would like to request to the higher authority to take it on a to take a nod or to see the certain condition at the earliest.
Moving on now. Well, the Enforcement Directorate today raided multiple locations, including the residence of Delhi Health and Home Minister Satyendra Jain, in connection with Hawala transactions related to a Kolkata based company. The move comes days after the Central Probe Agency arrested Jain on May 30th. Jain will be under the custody of ED till June 9th. Jain was arrested after the ED in April this year attached immovable properties worth rupees 4.81 crore owned by companies named Akinchan Developers Private Limited, into Metal Impacts Private Limited, and other under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 in connection with disproportionate asset and money laundering case registered against Jain, his wife Poonam Jain, and others. Well, the ED had registered a criminal case against the AAP leader based on this FIR, which was lodged by the CBI, in which it had been alleged that Jain could not explain the source of funds received by four companies in which he was a shareholder. Jain had reportedly floated or bought several shell companies in Delhi. He also laundered black money worth rupees 16.39 crore through 54 shell companies of three Hawala operators of Kolkata. Jain owned a large number of shares in companies named Prayas, Indo, and Akinchan. However, after becoming minister in Kejriwal's government, all his shares were transferred to his wife in 2015.
पिछले 5 दिन से सत्येंद्र जैन साहब को हिरासत में ईडी ने लिया हुआ है। 2 दिन पहले ईडी ने हाईकोर्ट के अंदर हलफनामा देके कहा कि सत्येंद्र जैन का नाम ना तो किसी एफआईआर में है, ना ही वो आरोपी हैं, मगर इसके बावजूद जो है उनको गिरफ्तार किया हुआ है। उनके घर इससे पहले कई बार सीबीआई और इनकम टैक्स छापे मार चुका है और उसमें कुछ बरामद नहीं हुआ है। कोई सबूत जो है केंद्र सरकार के पास इनके खिलाफ अभी तक नहीं है। और आज सुबह 7 बजे से उनके घर में उनकी पत्नी और उनकी बेटी हैं और वहाँ पे उनके यहाँ छापे मारे गए हैं। ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ जो है राजनीतिक द्वेष के कारण एक परिवार को परेशान करने की बात है, किसी को बदनाम करने की बात है। और इतने ईमानदार आदमी जो सत्येंद्र जैन हैं, ऐसे ईमानदार लोग बहुत कम पूरी दुनिया में मिलेंगे। इनके इस प्रताड़ना के कारण पूरे देश का जो जैन समाज है वो बहुत व्यथित है और बहुत गुस्से में है। और इस तरीके की प्रताड़ना के कारण केंद्र सरकार की छवि बहुत खराब हुई।
And some other stories now. Road rage, particularly in the Indian streets, is nothing new. But what has now caught the eye is a video right from a road in the national capital. In the shocking video that has emerged, a man on his four-wheeler hits a biker. This resulted as a follow up of a heated verbal exchange between the driver and a biker group right on the road near Arjangarh metro station in Delhi. As per information, police is investigating the matter and investigation is on at this point in time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the iconic week celebrations of the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Corporate Affairs today at Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi. The iconic week is being celebrated as the part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from June 6 to June 11, 2022. Prime Minister Modi also launched the national portal for credit-linked government schemes, Jan Samarth Portal. It is a one-stop digital portal linking government credit schemes that directly connect beneficiaries to lenders. According to the Prime Minister's office, the main purpose of the Jan Samarth portal is to encourage inclusive growth and development of various sectors by guiding and providing them with the right type of government benefits through simple and easy digital processes. The portal ensures end-to-end coverage of all the linked schemes. The Prime Minister also inaugurated a digital exhibition that traces the journey of the two ministers, Finance and Corporate Affairs, over the past 8 years. Well, the Prime Minister also released a special series of rupees 1, rupees 2, rupees 5, rupees 10, and rupees 20 coins. Well, these special series of coins will have the theme of the logo of Alcam and will also be easily identifiable to visually impaired persons. The program was organized simultaneously at 75 locations across the country, with each location connected through virtual mode with the main venue.
बीते वर्षों में मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉरपोरेट अफेयर्स उन्होंने अपने कार्य के द्वारा सही समय पर सही निर्णयों के द्वारा अपनी एक लीगेसी बनाई है, एक बेहतरीन सफर तय किया है। अगले एक हफ्ते में अनेक कार्यक्रम आपके विभाग के द्वारा होने वाले हैं। इस अमृत कार्य से जुड़े सभी विभागों को, आपकी हर छोटी मोटी इकाई को मैं बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। आप देखिए, अगर हम राष्ट्र के तौर पर देखें तो भारत ने बीते 8 वर्षों अलग अलग आयामों पर नित्य नूतन कदम उठाए हैं, नवीन काम करने का प्रयास किया है। आज हम सुधार, सरलीकरण, सुगमता की शक्ति के साथ आगे बढ़ते हैं तो सुविधाओं का नया स्तर प्राप्त होता है। आधुनिक सुविधाएं देना, उसके लिए नित नए प्रयास करना, नए संकल्प लेकर उन्हें सिद्ध करना हम सभी का दायित्व है। साथियों, बीते 8 वर्षों में हमने दिखाया है कि भारत अगर मिलकर कुछ करने की ठान ले तो पूरी दुनिया के लिए एक नई उम्मीद बन जाता है।
And on to international focus now. Well, at least 50 people were killed and others injured after gunmen attacked a Catholic church in Nigeria's Ondo state during Sunday Mass. Yes, viewers, a church in southwestern Nigeria became the site of a bloody attack on Sunday when attackers stormed into the church in the city of Wo. Shocking videos have emerged which show dead bodies with blood spilling in the church, while people around were crying disconsolately as they witnessed the terrible attack. Well, this is the latest incident of violence on a massive scale in Africa's most populous country that has witnessed attacks and kidnappings for ransom by armed gangs, mostly in its northwest. But such attacks have till now been rare in southwestern Nigeria. The identity and the motive of the attackers was not immediately clear. As per the local media inputs, gunmen fired at worshippers, including women and children, and detonated explosives at the church. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the attack, calling it heinous. Pope Francis expresses his condolences for the victims of a terror attack on a Catholic church in Nigeria's southwestern Ondo state, which killed over 50 people, including several children. And shifting focus now. In a tragic accident, as many as 26 people were killed and 4 others were injured when a bus carrying pilgrims fell into a deep gorge in Uttarkashi district of Uttarakhand. Well, the incident took place around 4 kilometers away from Damta, along with the Yamunotri National Highway at around 7 p.m. on Sunday. The impact of the fall was such that the vehicle broke into several pieces as it rolled into the 250-meter gorge. This bus was part of the nearly 30 pilgrim buses from Madhya Pradesh's Panna district, which had come for the ongoing Char Dham Yatra. Search and rescue operation has concluded in the early hours this morning, where the total casualty was confirmed to be 26 people and 4 sustaining injuries. The injured have been rushed to nearest medical center for treatment. Meanwhile, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan expressed his condolence and announced an ex gratia of rupees 5 lakh to the kin of deceased and rupees 50,000 for those critically injured. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed his condolences on the incident. Prime Minister Modi has further announced an ex gratia of rupees 2 lakh each from PMNRF for the next of kin of those who lost their lives in the accident in Uttarakhand. The injured would be given rupees 50,000 each.
रात को ही सारे सब खाई से निकाल लिए गए और रात में ही पोस्टमार्टम संपन्न हो गया। मुख्यमंत्री जी ने निर्देश दिए है कि ज़्यादा टीमें लगा के जल्दी एम्बॉर्मिंग हो जाए और उसके बाद हम पार्थिव शरीर खजुराहो रवाना करेंगे। खजुराहो में हमारी गाड़ियां पहले से मौजूद रहेगी, जो तुरंत उनके गांव तीर्थयात्रियों के शवों को ले जाएगी और हमारी कोशिश है कि पूरे सम्मान के साथ हम मध्य प्रदेश उनको पहुंचा पाएं और आज ही उनका अंतिम संस्कार हो जाए। 4 लोग घायल हैं, उनमें एक तो ड्राइवर ही है, रात को मैक्स अस्पताल में भर्ती है। मैं रात को मैक्स अस्पताल गया था, घायलों से मैंने बातचीत की। डॉक्टरों की टीम पूरी मुस्तैदी से घायलों के इलाज में लगी हुई है। 3 मध्य प्रदेश के घायल हैं तीर्थयात्री, उनका इलाज जारी है और कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उनकी जान बच जाए। हमने ये भी तय किया कि मृतक परिवार है, उनको 5 लाख रुपए की मृतकों के परिवारों को राहत की राशि दी जाएगी। 50,000 रुपए की गंभीर घायलों को राशि भी देंगे और उनका इलाज भी निःशुल्क हो जाए, इसका इंतजाम भी करेंगे।
Moving on now. Well, Ukraine missed out on qualifying for the World Cup after the war-disrupted team was beaten 1-0 by Wales in the European playoff final for the FIFA Football Showcase. Enrique inadvertently headed the ball into his own net while trying to clear Wales captain Gareth Bale's first half free kick. And meanwhile, Wales heads to a first World Cup in 64 years, opening against the United States in November. It was an agonizing end to Ukraine's emotionally charged mission to qualify for Qatar while remaining under Russian invasion. The right leg of Wales goalkeeper Wayne kept out Victor Spoke shot 10 minutes into the second half as Ukraine searched in vain for an equalizer. Artem's Dovbik's header in the 84th minute looked destined for the corner of the net until it was pushed away by Hennessy's left hand. The Ukrainian players appeared heartbroken following the defeat, wanting to give their country a positive after it has endured 3 months of bombardment. And Ukraine defender Alexander Karabikh has said that it was the most important game of their lives. Meanwhile, Ukraine coach Alexander Petrokov said that he could not utter a word of criticism for his players. Back home on the 102nd day of the invasion, Ukrainians took respite from the pain and suffering of the war by watching the game broadcast from Cardiff in bars, including the capital, Kyiv, which had been hit by Russian strikes earlier in the day. Well, the specter of the war was evident in the Welsh capital with a message of peace in English and Ukrainian on the screens in Cardiff City Stadium. Rivalries were put aside when the Ukrainian national anthem was played and it was applauded by the home fans. World number 5 Rafael Nadal put up a dominant show against Casper Ruud of Norway to win the men's singles final match 6-3, 6-3, 6-0 at the Court Philippe Chartier on Sunday to clinch his record 14th French Open crown and his 22nd Grand Slam title, racing ahead of Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. Well, right from the word go, Rafael Nadal was on the money as after winning the toss, he chose to serve first, where he went on to hold the first game, followed by a break in the very next game to take a 2-0 lead. Casper Ruud made a comeback of sorts, baking the Spaniard in the next game to make it 1-2, but Nadal wasn't sublime for breaking the Norwegian for the second consecutive time in the opening, set to extend his lead 3-1. The 36-year-old Nadal went on to win the opening set by a convincing margin of 6-3. In the second set, world number 8 Casper Ruud broke Nadal in the fourth game to take a crucial 3-1 lead, but the Spaniard clawed his way back, breaking him in the next game, and from there on, he never looked back and won all the games to take the second set with a similar score line of 6-3. In the third set, Ruud was no match to Rafa as a clay court king raised to a 3-0 lead. Well, Rafael Nadal dominated it in such a way that Ruud even failed to win a game as the Spaniard won the set 6-0. With this win, Rafael Nadal won his 14th French Open crown and his 22nd Grand Slam title, going ahead of the Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic, who have won 20 Grand Slams each. The 36-year-old with his 14th title at the Roland Garros shows why he is considered as the clay court king.
I think I started the match playing very well. I take the control of the point a lot of times with my forehand against his backhand, but then I think the key today was my backhand cross backhand. No, I think that creates a lot of damage on Casper today, and for me, have this trophy next to me again means everything. No, so yeah, I've been emotional victories without a doubt, unexpected in some way. A great 2 weeks, honestly. No, I played since the beginning, improving every day and finishing playing a good final. No, so yeah, super happy and can't thank enough everybody for the support since the first day that I got here. No, so yeah, very emotional. The mindset is very clear. No, I'm gonna keep working and to try to find a solution and then improve.
Well, news and updates continue on Northeast Live, so stay tuned for more news. Thanks for watching.
The primetime news at 7. Now, in a whole new look. Only on Northeast Live. Your station, your voice.
ব্যবহার করো আটাতকে খবল আর সতেজ সিমেন্ট সূর্যা সিমেন্ট অটুট ঘর অটুট অসম
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
এলো ভন্টি